We are ready to begin the 89th annual Groundhog event. Thank you all. First of all, on behalf of our exalted, honorary, whatever you want to call them, Hibernator, we welcome you, all of you. John, right?
Yes.
Okay. And on a more serious note, please remember that you are going to become a member of a unique organization in York, the Slumbering Groundhog Lodge. And we are the third oldest in the country. We are 89 years old today, and of course we have two other competitors in the state that are a little bit older than we are. And how old are you, John? Never mind. That's not question. Go say.
Just for record here, next to me, Phil Rhodes.
Yes.
And he's been in the Groundhog Lodge for 40-some odd years. So we're happy to have Phil here. He's our oldest member of the Groundhog Lodge.
Woo! Thank you, Phil. All right, we begin with the proclamation. York Slumbering Groundhog Lodge acknowledgement. We are at latitude 339 degrees and 58 minutes, and that's north, and west longitude 76 degrees 43 minutes zone. That's where we are. Our persistent search for knowledge has prompted us to assemble annually at the Lodge of the Slumbering Groundhog to hear the revelation from the spirit of poor Richard regarding the description of the weather from this date until 6 weeks hence. Poor Richard has not failed to communicate with his conclave for all of these many years. Although his prognostications have been difficult to decipher by the commoners, the aristocracy of the lodge has found no problem comprehending the elation and warmth of the camaraderie found here. Yes, this is really good. The squad leaders of the four territories, would you please raise your hands, our four people? Raise your hands, thank you very much. Have assisted quite capably in their diligent search of the county for other woodland creatures who would proclaim the veracity of poor Richard's prognostications. The spirit of poor Richard has stated quite sagaciously that winter chill invaded us and hung in there tenaciously. This caused the hibernating marmots to awaken voraciously. Oh, it gets better. Not to mention that pent-up energies caused the furry animals to behave somewhat fallaciously. Yeah. The urge to satisfy one's cravings must be controlled emphatically, to offer wise counsel and prognosticate grammatically. Oh, this is good. So all must read the calendar to learn systematically. Winter's demise will not surprise our yearnings mathematically. And now we move on, John.
We will now have the official opening prayer. Heavenly Father, as we groundhoggers assemble today, we ask your guidance, Lord, as we make our decisions on what this thing called life brings us daily. Help us to know and believe in the gifts you have given us and in the wisdom of the groundhog, and lead us and keep us focused to make our gatherings successful while following your ways. Bless the fellowship of this lodge, increase our knowledge, and grant us the patience to get through another year of inevitably stressful weather. Be it known that poor Richard lives in the hearts and minds of our entire groundhog fold. Grant each of us and our families good health, laughter, joy, and let us not forget that no matter how dark things may seem, at the end of the day, the glory of each morning is that it offers us a chance to begin again. This we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
We will now have the opening ode. All sing. Poor Richard, tell us please, when will this winter cease? We'd like to know.
When I'm not there, the
Poem. Somewhere beyond the sunset, where friendship never dies, you live in the land of glory, with the blue and gold of the skies. We who have shared your fellowship will carry on your happy ways,
promote the spirit of brotherly love, and cherish your memories always.
Amen.
Amen.
And now, for the official obligation and pledge, I turn it over to Skip Lehmann.
Thank you, John. We will now have the initiation services for the recently selected members. Will the following persons, and you know who you are, please step forward in front of just about 4 steps forward. If you come forward, please. And thank you very much.
Groundhog babies.
All groundhog babies.
Oh.
Before we begin, and where's our Sergeant of Arms? You'll lead each one up, and I will give you the cue to do that. Thank you. More serious point. We, the members of Slumbering Groundhog Lodge of York, Pennsylvania, have selected you to join us and attend our meetings. In becoming a member of this lodge, it is understood that you will be loyal and true to this lodge, that you will willingly lend your cooperation in every way possible, and that you will, to the best of your ability, do that which you are called upon to do. Candidates for membership are judged by the following standards: high ideals, harmony with work, and agreeable personality. You better all go home.
Yeah.
$5. Now, it calls for the clasp of the hands in friendship. Would you all grab each other's hands, please? Thank you. Now, as I say this to you, then we'll get to our ceremonial part. Someone once said, as we grow older, the thing that becomes more and more apparent to us is the importance of friendship. One can conceive of no greater satisfaction than that of conducting himself or herself, in this case, both, in such a manner that he or she may consistently and constantly add to this list of friends and thereby obtain a fuller measure of life. To live for the most there is in life must mean that we cannot live alone. If we wish real success, we must work and build together. We feel that every new member has added another link to our chain. You will be asked to believe in the wisdom of the groundhog and to pledge yourselves to protect him at all times from harm. If you are prepared to accept this obligation, answer by saying, I am.
I am.
And now I turn it over to John.
Please repeat after me. I believe in the wisdom of the groundhog.
I believe in the wisdom of the groundhog.
I believe his intelligence to be
I believe his intelligence to be
of a higher order
of a higher order
than that of any other animal.
than that of any other animal.
From the tick of the blackberry
From the tick of the blackberry
to the elephant of the jungle,
to the elephant of the jungle,
I rejoice that he can
I rejoice that he can
and does
foretell
with absolute accuracy the weather conditions for the 6 weeks following each second day of February, to defend him, his family, and his reputation. I pledge myself. I welcome him to my fields.
I would
stay in the hand of the man who would excite and ruffle his temper or slay him. To defend him with all my might and at all hazards. I pledge myself to my manservants and my maidservants, my oxen and my asses, and my assets as a whole. So help me.
It's gonna be free.
Wow.
Now, if you would be kind enough,
just
and
give
I'm
away
asking
everything.
Sergeant of Arms to lead each one of you down, and you will kneel down on the almighty, of course, the beautifully sacred carpet, and please place upon the lips of poor Richard the feelings from your heart of being a groundhog. Mrs. Jonescu, thank you. That's okay. No French kissing, though, please. Richard, control yourself.
He's smiling.
I think he's falling in love.
Oh, Richard. Oh, Richie.
Richie.
Hey, baby.
Are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Hit it.
You don't want to touch your mat.
I just touched it. What did she mean by that's like kissing ring?
Oh my love!
First of all, we would officially like to welcome you to the Groundhog Lodge, and at this time, we'd like everyone to repeat with us the official Groundhog Creed.
I expect to pass through this world but once,
Any good, therefore, that I can
and any good, therefore, that I can do, or any kindness that I can show to my fellow creatures,
Let me do it now. Let me not defer or neglect it, for I shall not pass this way again.
All right, at this time, we have the final moment of our lives in which we will have the official reports. I call upon the East representative to please take the microphone and read us your report.
Poor Richard says it is time to admit that the cold weather has finally hit. The sun may be shining and the sky may be blue, but poor Richard is waiting to tell us all what may really be true. The unusual climate changes have baffled us all. What will be next, only poor Richard can call. The sight of the robins gathering on the snow makes poor Richard really want to know. Is there warm sunny weather down the road ahead? Or is this Mother Nature's trick to fool us instead? The critters of winter are coming out to play, and yet it seems they are not going to stay. Poor Richard questions the signs of the times because he knows that there are really no signs. You see, my dear friends of York County lands, the long days of winter are filled with snow bands. So sit back and wait for the March 21st date. Stay safe and warm with your snuggly mate. The temps will be cold, the sun will still shine, but in reality for all, the spring weather may not be on time. Poor Richard says we can only hope for warmer days if we will try to treat the little creatures on the earth in very kind ways. So listen, my friends, as Richard must contend that winter stows will not end. 6 more weeks of winter.
Oh, from the East. And now we go to the West. Wilma?
I think Faith and Wilma has to say.
The West Report brings strange things to ponder, for winter this year is something to wonder. It's here one day and gone the next, so poor Richard is confused and thinks he may be hexed. To find out why this winter is not sound, poor Richard began to ask all around why there is no snow on the ground. While coming up from his lofty space, poor Richard came to a warm, sunny place. He spotted a female groundhog walking her litter and said to her boldly, "Want to join me in my burrow for the rest of winter?" He commented to her, "Don't trust those weathermen. They don't have a clue. Just listen to poor Richard, and he will tell you. I am poor Richard, the slumbering groundhog town crier. Early spring is the thing, and I am no liar. We will have an early spring."
All right, and now we move to the South. Mr. Hoffman?
Oh boy.
While seeking the thoughts of our poor Richard, our wise and all-knowing beast, it came to me that his followers are many, to say the least. So the East Squad looked up to the sky for poor Richard to communicate. And what came to them was a prediction that poor Richard could not debate. He said winter is here and it's here to stay. For 6 more weeks, it will keep us at bay. You'll be surprised at some of the warm days you will get, but snow, cold weather, and bitter wind is a sure bet. Don't put away your snow shovels or winter clothes for a while, because the next 6 weeks will not make you smile. Poor Richard is ecstatic and surely elated that this year's spring will be belated. 6 more weeks of winter.
Now we go to the north for the North report. This might be better.
The sun may be shining and the sky may be blue, but poor Richard is waiting to tell us all what may really be true. My friends, it is time to admit that winter has not finally hit. The unusual climate changes have baffled us all. What will be next? Only poor Richard can call. The time is right for the sun to warm the heart, and yet the winter skies may not part. Poor Richard claims that we can only hope for warmer days if we all try to treat little creatures of the earth his very kind ways. So listen, my friends, as he must amend. Poor Richard predicts that winter weather will end. Early spring is the thing.
Yay! It seems like we have a half and half from our squad reports. Let's find out what our grand communicator has to offer when he had communicated with poor Richard up in hog heaven. Skip.
You do know that I have a seance a moment. And receive these vibrations. Better yet, I'm drinking libations when I receive the vibrations. Here we go. The leaves may still be on the ground. There's a chill in the air. The snow lovers, alas, are all upset because there is no snow anywhere. The birds are beginning to chirp out of their little nests, and the squirrels and chipmunks are still behaving like little pests. The sky may seem bright and sunny all day. Therefore, our furry little critter will come out to play. Our exalted groundhog, poor Richard, shouts, I still have some unusual prediction and doubts. Don't worry about me during this winter weather. I'm warm and cozy in my burrow for the better. The days are getting longer and the nights are still cold. But as for poor Richard and his prediction, he is not totally sold. The winter storms are fierce and still a brewing. But poor Richard is not ready to get everybody stewing. For if he predicts an early spring, he may regret that he said anything. So sit back and wait for the March 21st date to see if poor Richard will make us all wait. You see, my dear citizens, poor Richard knows that February months can bring horrendous snows. Poor Richard is ready to make a long-shot prediction. Many will believe that it's totally fiction. Winter will end, how soon he cannot predict, but you can bet that poor Richard does not want it to get wet. Therefore, he says, with an unusual cry, I'm going back in my burrow where I will give a big sigh. The weather for now will not change very much, for spring will be here sooner than later with a warm, sunny touch. Early spring is the thing. Watching some of your faces, you do know that these are all rhymes and stuff. If you knew what I go through to try to come up with this stuff, it's like insanity.
The libations work.
Yeah, they do. A martini. But I do say this. I have to be honest, and I want to make sure we know this. I do go to the Farmer's Almanac and kind of pull some things together, but it is a lot of fun. So I won't tell them everything. No, what we're going to do now is we are now going to do our closing ode. This is the song, and I'll tell you, it's. You have that? Did I have that on your papers?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. We'll get you copies next year, please. The words are like this. It goes.
Here we go.
Here we go. We'll try that.
Poor Richard, we were there.
Na 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 na.
On in the lodge.
Na 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 na.
To
Na
the
na 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 na.
with
the
hearts we
na
with
na
our
na
na.
I made us proud. Thank you all. Please remember this. Next year is our 90th anniversary. As we all know, we had our 125th here for the Elks Lodge, and what a great event that was. It was terrific. I do hope that you all will be back with us. We are going to get your email addresses. If you have not filled out a form with Sue, please do so, because I'm going to ask my girl in my office to get some connection things. I'll get with it, John, don't worry. And we want to make sure that you know we're going to try to get some things together for the...
Came from Poor Richard.
Okay, now we will, of course, go back inside. Our new groundhogettes, you can take your bonnets off and your bibs, and you're officially members now. I do believe we are all going up to the Central Family Restaurant to enjoy breakfast. If you can join us, we'd love to have you do that, okay? Thank you all very much. You make us feel very good when we have... Yeah, I'll take it down. We're good. Thank you very much, everybody. See you inside.
We thank you guys.
Good morning, ladies. It's Groundhog Day. Welcome. Nice to have you with us. Early spring, ladies. We just predicted it.